Hello and welcome, trolls. And you know it's a safe place to be on a Monday night? Here at Joe, friend of trolls. Tonight, we're going to be doing a little bit of an update, kind of a video that I've been meaning to do for a long time. And a lot of the people that I watch, that I subscribe to, are doing kind of the same thing. So if you're one of the 14 people that follow this channel, one, thanks for sticking with me, and two, sorry for the lack of uploads, and three, I don't have a three. So we're going to do this video overlaid with some gameplay footage of myself playing Overwatch, so hopefully enjoy that. You'll see some of my greatest triumphs and my most ardent failures as well. I guess I should start with the lack of uploads to the channel. I think I have not uploaded before this upload for, I want to say five weeks probably. Maybe it's just a month, but I think it's about 5 weeks, and I have no excuse for that. I do have four videos that are ready, and one of them will be released today, later this evening, in conjunction with this release. But they're coming. They're coming back. As far as 2018 is concerned, I know it's the end of January, but I am making a resolution to yourself and myself right now that I will release a video every week. If I release a video every week, if I can stick with that resolution, and I do that for 3 months in a row, I will then begin releasing 2 videos a week on the old Joe Friend of Trolls channel. So cross your fingers, wish me luck, and I'll see you around for the 2 video release in 3 months time. I hope. I really, it's up to me though. So let's do this. Let's do it. I'm going to continue releasing Monday nights. It's going to be about 6 o'clock Alaskan Standard Time, or Pacific Standard Time. You know, between the 5 to 7 o'clock range, maybe 4 o'clock. I'm going to release sometime in the evening, because I talk about it being a safe place to be on a Monday night, right? I mean, so it's got to be in the evening at some point. Now, the video that I'm going to release, that I'm going to talk about today, is one that obviously I've been meaning to talk about for a while. I had it prepared, I had a bunch of images downloaded, but it's E3 2017, my reactions and the biggest announcements and games coming out of E3 2017. So hopefully you'll stick around to see what I'm excited about in the next year since E3 2017. While I go through this list, if you think of anything that you were excited about from E3 2017, or anything that you are expecting from E3 2018, which I will be making a video as well, but hopefully getting it out a little bit quicker than I have presently. As far as the games go for E3 2017, I'm just going to dive right into it, and I'm going to talk about the number one game that I'm most excited about out of that conference was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Now, I played Ori as a playthrough on my other channel before I created this one, and I intend to play Ori and the Blind Forest and the definitive edition on this channel. Knowing me, knowing my release schedule or lack thereof, we'll see if that happens. But the art style was so amazing, the story was so amazing, the gameplay was so good, crisp, clean. I can't wait for this game. I can't wait to see how they expand this story. So it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about that. if you remember all the way back to that E3 conference in 2017, you'll remember that they released that trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, I never played Beyond Good and Evil, the first edition, but I know that it has a huge cult following. I know that it's insanely popular, and that trailer, I know there was no gameplay footage, but it was also it was amazing. I mean, it was beautiful, it was crisp, it was clean. I'm excited to see what comes of this game. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I do want to check it out and keep up on it. The next one on the list is ARMS for the Nintendo Switch. Now, my family bought a Nintendo Switch. We enjoyed the heck out of Zelda. We bought ARMS because it looked just neat. And so back when I had planned this video and I was like, I'm excited about ARMS, versus now where I'm like, I've purchased ARMS, I would not recommend ARMS. Like, it's an interesting game, but it's not too good. It's actually really slow. The movements are clunky. I mean, it's very gimmicky, which is, you know, what you'd expect for a couple of the games on the Nintendo Switch anyway, but it wasn't my cup of tea. Crackdown 3, I don't think they announced it at this E3, but they talked a little bit more about it, and Crackdown 3 is a game that I forgot all about. I played the original Crackdown, and that game, it made you feel just like a god, like you were unstoppable. And I didn't play Crackdown 2. I can assume it was much of the same, but Crackdown 3, I'm excited for. I'm excited to jump back into that world. So I do think I'm gonna get that one when it comes out, but who knows? Time will tell. A game that I'm excited, that I was excited about, that I did buy, $20-$30, I can't remember. Cuphead was being released that fall of last year, and Cuphead, it just looks so amazing, and it is. I bought it, and if you're paying attention to the channel, obviously I'm playing it through. You'll see another episode later today, and it's so frustratingly fun. It's tough. It's a tough game, but I mean, you play the levels a few times through, and shoot, you beat it. Not too much of a problem. Days Gone is a game that I'm looking forward to. I don't know much about it. I saw the trailer where all the zombies were running after you, and they look kind of cool. But I don't. It's not like a must-buy for me right now. I mean, Cuphead was number one. Cuphead was number one with it. Destiny 2 it wasn't announced, or it had been announced before, but they were talking more about it and giving a release date and everything. Destiny 2 has since been released since E3 2017. People are having a lot of fun with it. I watch a guy, Good Chaos. He plays a lot of Destiny 2, does a great job. I didn't play Destiny 1, and I don't think I'll play Destiny 2. I may get Destiny 1 once it and all of its DLC are reduced in price to maybe $20-$30. I might jump on then. There probably won't be anyone playing at that point, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Dishonored 2. I never played Dishonored 1, but Dishonored 2 looks really good. Dishonored 2, I don't know. I've seen some streams. I've seen some gameplay footage of Dishonored 1. It looks like a great game. I did download it for the Xbox 360, I believe. And, as far as a game goes, it felt really slow, really sluggish to me. And granted, I said I didn't play it earlier, but I totally did. For like 10 or 15 minutes. I played like the opening scene. I know it's not a good amount of time to judge a game off of, so maybe I'll give it another shot. I got it for free on the Xbox through the Games with Gold. Games with Gold, by the way, for anyone that plays the Xbox, what a great deal. I mean, you pay $60 a year for essentially 4 games a month. So you're paying for 48 games for $60. If I never bought with my own money outside of the Xbox Gold membership another game, I could play games forever without being bored. But of course, I want some of the newer games. I'm not gutter trash after all. Jeez. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I used to play the Dragon Ball games where you could fly around and you could hide from your opponent, throw up the Hell Zone grenades, which are my favorite. But Dragon Ball Fighter Z, actually, I think it's going to be released this month. Maybe it's this January, but maybe it's February. I don't know, but E3 announced it. Looked very cool to me. I don't think I'm going to get it. It's a 2D fighter. One of the best parts of that game was you could fly around. It was like, or the other Dragon Ball games, you could fly around and you could do all the things that the Dragon Ball Z characters could do. And this, I mean, it feels too Tekken to me, maybe, I guess. Not Tekken, because Tekken is also a 3D world. This is a 2D Street Fighter-esque kind of game. Far Cry 5 was either announced at E3 or it was announced before E3, but it was announced to huge controversy, mostly by folks who said, "Hey man, now you're not killing brown people off in some foreign nation. You're killing Americans in this game." And I guess it's kind of like a racist Nazi sympathizer kind of group that you're going after, but there was a big uproar about it's Americans. What are you doing? What are you thinking? And so I'm excited about the game. Like I haven't played a Far Cry game since the first Far Cry, which was a great game. Didn't beat it because if you've been paying attention to the channel at all, I don't beat many games, and that has been true with my gameplay experiences on a whole. But it was a good game, and you could turn into like this savage beast and just kind of swing through the treetops and attack your enemies and stuff, and that was kind of cool. So I don't know what to expect of it. It might be the first Far Cry game that I pick up for the last 10, 12 years, or whenever that other Far Cry came out. Gosh dang, has it been that long? Yeah, it had to have been that long. God of War is going to be released. I do have a PlayStation 4. I don't upload PlayStation 4 gameplay or walkthrough or anything like that because I can't figure out the kind of the way to upload those videos yet. But I think I could play God of War, or Dad of War, as they've been affectionately referring to it as. I apologize. I had a couple shots of whiskey and I'm feeling a little bit frisky. So, the God of War series, I guess it looks a lot different than the old ones where it was just platformer, button masher, carpal tunnel, hell, Devil May Cry syndrome-esque games. And I don't know if that's a good change for the series. I don't follow it that closely. I'm not a diehard fan. I did play the other God of War games, and I was younger then, so I was pretty much in it because there's a little bit of nudity, and that was kind of cool. But, I've matured since then, and now I only buy games based on nudity about 73% of the time. Like, so I've toned it down a lot. Like, that was my... that wasn't my premium reason for buying games. Oh god, my foot's asleep. Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is the blue balls of gaming almost as much as the Final Fantasy VII remake. And holy cow, I mean, I guess they're both Square Enix, so that's the thing. I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1. I can hardly remember Kingdom Hearts 2, and I didn't play any of the spin-off series on like the DS or the PSP or anything like that. But Kingdom Hearts 3, if it finally comes out, I will probably get it. I'm very, I guess, not disheartened, but it's been a long time coming. They announce it, they talk about it, they announce it, they talk about it, and so I don't know. I don't know if I can carry the torch for that long. Maybe I can. I mean, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Middle-earth: Shadow of War was announced and subsequently came out, and so people are playing that. My brother was playing that. He had very good reviews for it. I myself am not going to probably buy it. The Shadow of Mordor looked like a cool game, but I never played that one. Maybe I'll get the Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of Wars at some point in the future, but right now, it's just not on the top of my list. All right, so the next one's Anthem, which is super cool looking. Like it's the Xbox's or EA's answers to Bungie's Destiny, or so it seems. And when Anthem, it premiered at the E3, and it was super cool looking, and it's open world, and you got these jetpacks, and you're flying through the jungle and everything. And then later in the year, Battlefront 2 came out and was received by huge controversy because of the pay-to-win mechanics in it and the loot boxes that seemed a little bit aggressive in their marketing to the players. And one of the things was the EA said was, hey, we're just giving the players a chance to have a little pride and accomplishment in their loot boxes or in their game. And one of the memes that I saw online was, that's a nice game you got there, showcasing Anthem. It would be a shame if it had some pride and accomplishment. And so we'll see how EA turns out, or Anthem turns out by EA, and whether they minimize those aspects or they exacerbate those aspects and really make them a huge part of the game. I'm not a huge fan of DLC on an unfinished game. I'm not a huge fan of pay to win, although I am also not too competitive. As the 2 games that I've played on this channel, 3 games that I've played on this channel have been 2 side scrollers and 1 kind of platformer single player game. So we'll see. Anthem looks cool. I don't have an Xbox One X yet, which was also announced, and I will talk about that later. They took the curtain off the Scorpio, but Anthem looks pretty cool. Gosh, it's tough doing a E3 2017 video about 6 or 7 months after E3, because so much has already happened out of that E3, and so I don't recall. But PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds has become a huge phenomenon. I feel like it's an unfinished game. Here they are making all this money off of this unfinished game, and people are eating it up though. They love it. My cousins, they play this thing nonstop. They love this game. As far as myself is concerned, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is, like I said, it's unfinished. It doesn't feel polished to me. It doesn't feel nice to me. And again, I'm not that ultra competitive type person, but I gave it a shot once, and I couldn't figure out how to equip the ammo. So I guess I don't deserve to even be critiquing it, but here I am critiquing it like a son of a gun. Ooh, next one is so good. Oh, I can't wait. Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't think this was announced at E3, or maybe it was announced at E3. But subsequently from E3, or maybe it was at E3, that we got that trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. I played I played the shit out of Red Dead Redemption, and I never beat it, but I just played it so much, and I played it almost exclusively in kind of that hunting mini game where you're just riding along, you're going on a mission maybe, but you see like a bird in the sky, so you just shoot it off of your horse, and then you go get it, and you go get the feather from it, and then you see the deer, and you shoot the deer, and you go skin the deer, and then you dive off of a cliff with your horse, and your horse dies, and so you skin your horse. Like, I got so distracted by that minigame in Red Dead Redemption. I kind of halfway hope that they bring it back for Red Dead Redemption 2, and kind of halfway hope that they don't bring it back for Red Dead Redemption 2 at all. The next game that I've got on the list here is South Park, The Fractured Butthole. Now, South Park was released since this. I think it was like October it was released. But I purchased it because I was a big fan of the Stick of Truth. And the South Park Fractured Butthole changed the dynamic a little bit. It made it so it was a little bit more of a grid-type RPG where you move your characters around and position them on the map. Kind of a Final Fantasy Tactics sort of game, which is a great game. I love Final Fantasy Tactics, one of my all-time favorites. In the Fractured Butthole, however, of course, it's got all the South Park jokes. I wasn't as big of a fan of the Fractured Butthole as I was of the Stick of Truth, and I'll tell you why. The Stick of Truth, it felt like a more polished story. And it's weird to say for a South Park game, I know. It was also done by Obsidian, I think, and I think the Fractured Butthole was done by someone else. But South Park, The Fractured Butthole, it just felt incomplete, kind of. It just felt like they were going from step to step, trying to, I don't know, I can't really put words to it. I mean, I enjoyed the game, I still haven't beaten it, surprise, surprise, but I don't know. If you haven't played either one of the South Park games, play Stick of Truth first. Let me know what you think. Another game that was showcased heavily at E3 2017 was Spider-Man, and the trailer made it look really cool. The actions made it look really cool. A lot of quick time events, maybe. It kind of looked like it was a little quick time heavy, which is fine. I don't mind quick time as long as it's balanced with good gameplay as well. And if it has a good, back and forth between the actual gameplay and the interactive movie that I'm playing, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the quick time events. Another game that was it announced? No, couldn't have been. Maybe it was. Super Mario Odyssey! Super Mario Odyssey was showcased at E3, probably. Maybe some gameplay was put out for it. But Super Mario Odyssey, we did buy, the wife and I, for the old Nintendo Switch. And that game, unlike ARMS, I was really happy with that game. I haven't played a good 3D Mario platformer game since Super Mario 64, and that was a long time ago. I know Super Mario, what was it called? The space one. Super Mario Space. Hold on, let me get online. Super Mario. The game's name was Super Mario Galaxy. I know Super Mario Galaxy had a lot of fans. Super Mario Galaxy 2 had a lot of fans. Super Mario Sunshine was pretty popular. But I haven't really gotten into a Super Mario game that's 3D platformer since Super Mario 64. And it felt so nostalgic, but so polished and so good. I really like the Nintendo Switch. I really do. I know that came out almost a year ago now, but we've been having a heck of a good time with it. Really having a good time with it. New Metroid games were announced, and I believe these were new, Metroidvania styles, 2D platformer side-scroller games, but I could be wrong. I'm shooting straight off of the top of the dome piece here, straight out off my memory, and I can't remember if these were those kind of games. And if they were, great. I never was a huge fan of Metroid, but I would give it a shot if a new Metroid game came out. The last game on my list wasn't announced at E3, and in fact, it was even released before E3 came out. However, at E3, they did announce a lot of DLC for it, and that was The Legend of Zelda, The Breath of the Wild. Oh my gosh, guys, if you have not played this game, you need to play this game. It was so good. Like, I beat this game. I couldn't put it down. It was so good. My wife, she probably has 200 plus hours in the game. And so for anyone that's on the fence about buying a Nintendo Switch, it's a year after, so there's more than just The Legend of Zelda now. When it came out, it was basically buying a video game system for this one game. And though I wouldn't normally recommend that, and we have played this one game enough, or Legend of Zelda enough, to warrant the cost of a system. The best cost justification that I've ever heard was from a YouTuber by the name of Boogie2988. Pretty big, popular YouTuber. He does the Francis Rage videos. But he said, if I get 1 hour of gameplay out of every dollar that I spend on a game, that game is then worth it. And for Legend of Zelda, like I said, my wife, she's got 200 hours into the game. I've probably got at least 100 hours into the game. My kids probably, have 20, 30 hours apiece into the game. We have paid for the Switch with that entertainment value to us. And so they announced new DLC, which it's early 2018. It's already been released, I think most of it. And the DLC is awesome. Opens up huge chunks of story and really expands the game. So if you're on the fence about getting a Nintendo Switch, if you get The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and nothing else, it is a good cost justification for the Nintendo Switch. But there's other good games on it. Like I said, Super Mario Odyssey is a blast. We got Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and that's a fun game. I already told you, Final Fantasy Tactics, one of my all-time favorites. This is another turn-based, grid-type RPG game that really blends seamlessly the world of Mario and the world of Rabbids from Rayman. So I would highly recommend the Switch. As far as big announcements that came out of last year's E3, the Xbox One X was huge. They'd rumored, the Scorpio coming up to this E3 event, and everyone was so excited. And so when they announced the Xbox One X, a lot of people lost their minds. A lot of people said, "Hey, man, that's $500. That is too much for a console system when I could get a upgradable PC over and over." Now, I'm not an early adopter of the Xbox One X, though I believe 2018 is the year that I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to go get the Xbox One X. My cousin got it. He speaks very highly of it. The upgrade in not only load times, but then also the graphics, the update to those is amazing, he says. Like I said, though, I'm not ready for the Xbox One X. You need the 4K TV to really appreciate it. I don't have one of those. And so it's a big cost to me that I am not yet ready to spend on, though I think I will be by fall of this year, of 2018. Another thing that was being touted there at E3 was the cross-platform play. And all I've got to say about that is, PlayStation, get on the freaking bus, man. We all want to play together. We all have our different systems, our different exclusives that we like. And by you just kind of cock-blocking all of that, it's putting a wedge in between all of us. Let's just forget it, and you guys can have your PlayStation exclusives. The Xbox can have theirs. The Nintendo can have theirs, but let's play Rocket League and Minecraft together, and the big games like Destiny. Let's play those. There's no reason Why we can't, you guys have the technology, just do it. Just do it. But I think the big announcements were, as far as the Switch was concerned, between the Switch and the Xbox, and being able to play Rocket League together, and also, I think Fortnite. That was later. That was after E3. But Fortnite, there was a moment where the system switched over, and there was PlayStation tags or PlayStation user IDs being shown on Xbox consoles. So it was like someone flipped the switch on accident, didn't do it maybe on purpose, but they've got the technology, and they're just not doing it because they want to be jerks about it. So come on, PlayStation, get on board. Like, I'm not an Xbox fanboy. I do play on the Xbox, but like I said, I have a PlayStation. I just can't figure out how to get it to upload the gameplays, so that's why I do most of my gameplays from the Xbox. But man, get on board. A big thing continues to be the VR, the virtual reality, the headsets that go on, the Oculus Rift, and those types of things. I think I'd be into that, maybe for a minute. But video games, to me, I don't want to be too immersive. I don't want to have to put forward too much effort. I know that sounds really lazy, and it is, but I want to be able to kick back on the couch, grab myself a beer and a burrito, and just chill and play some video games, man. That's all I want to do. Overwatch is too active for me sometimes, because if you want to have some, ramen noodles or some Doritos, you don't have time to do that in the middle of a match. You can't. No, they kick you out quick in Overwatch. I still love Overwatch, though. And hopefully you're enjoying this gameplay. I don't know how long this video has gone on for, so I hope I have enough gameplay to satisfy my lengthy E3 2017 rant. It's almost over. Don't worry, I'm almost there. Two more things. One, the Atari box was announced, and Atari, they've been off the scene for a while. What are they going to do? I've already heard that it's not going to be as graphically superior as, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It's not going to try and compete on that scale, but it's going to try and offer an original gameplay experience in the form of exclusivity, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm excited to see the Atari box. It just was very nostalgic with the wood paneling on that box. And it reminded me, we used to play Atari in my grandfather's shed. Like, he had an Atari out there, and we would play Pong on it and Asteroids, and those games are terrible, obviously, compared to today's standards, but they were what started us on the whole gaming journey. And so I'm excited to see what is going on with the Atari box. They made more comments at E3 about Xbox One or Xbox backward compatibility, and it's going to be backward compatible through all the Xbox first generation games. I hardly owned an Xbox. I got started pretty much on the Xbox family on the Xbox 360, so not super exciting news to me. I don't know if there's any that I'm going to want to pick up, because gameplay and graphics have come so far in the last 10 years that it's not really worth it to me, especially if I don't have that nostalgia bone for it, to go back and try and play these old games on my new system. So it's exciting for a lot of people. I understand that it's gonna tickle your nostalgia bone, and I'm excited for you, and I hope you have a good time. But for me, not so much. I'm all right. And those are all the things that I really wanted to talk about out of E3 2017. I don't know what to expect for E3 2018 as it gets closer to that date. I will do my very best to put out a video talking about my expectations for 2018, and then after that conference ends, I will also put out my reactions to 2018 a little bit earlier than I think a half a year later. And so as far as an update video goes, though, resolutions, for 2018, I'm going to do a video every week. And if 3 months hit with a video every week, I will begin doing 2 videos every week. And so I hope you can support me in this. I hope you show up. I hope you comment on the videos, like the videos, share them with your friends if you enjoyed them. And so that was my thoughts. That was my update. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you want to see more from Joe, Friend of Trolls, please go ahead and click one of these thumbnails to get started on a series that you might enjoy. Maybe not. More series coming out, and don't forget to stay tuned. Later today, I've got another episode of Cuphead coming out. So I'll see you then. Cheers.